What makes this one difficult is there isn't any single element that's like, oh, there's only a couple of those, we can get away with not bringing it. There are a lot of Void and Solar on the first beacon, a lot of Arc on the second, and a lot of Void on the third. I tried several things on this before arriving at Hard Light being the staple for this setup. The bow is almost exclusively for stunning overloads and taking out snipers, while the Threaded Needle is used primarily for champions and bosses. I didn't go with Whispering Slab and Threaded Needle for any reason in particular other than Vorpal. I'm using the usual linear fusion setup with Particle Deconstruction and Scavenger, and I think these concussive dampeners saved me a good few times. If you're running Warlock, the Stag is very good here. Let's get into it. On this first beacon, hold out in the church for as long as you can. Though every build I tried that allowed me to stay inside the church on this beacon just didn't work at the second one. It's not going to take very long before your options come down to run or die. Standing at the beacon, looking towards the entrance of the church, the closer half of the right side outside the building, you can hug the wall and it considers you inside the zone. Now, let me be fully transparent with you. This spot is not safe. What this spot is preferable to what's inside. They will come outside occasionally, and if you go too far up the building, they will start jumping out windows. For the execution on this, because they'll occasionally wander out, don't wait until you're almost dead to go back to the corner. Once they start shooting at you, it's time to go, and keep in mind that any shield you break is progress. Rotate between the doors, peek long enough to reset the timer, pick a target, and let them know you're there so that they're shooting at that entrance, and then peek the other one to get the kill. You gotta prioritize not getting teleported here. If that timer runs out, it drops you on top of the beacon. You really don't want that. The corner in the back left also works. Try to always have at least one thing off cooldown in case something follows you home. The wave that comes in around 25% is going to have your first overload. I think it stops cooperating once it takes damage, but be ready to fight it outside if you get unlucky. Before or as this wizard goes down is a great time to grab ammo. Your next champion is an unstoppable around 80%. On the second beacon, the best spot I found was to the left as you're approaching. I spent a decent little while looking for a better alternative, and this was the most manageable. If you've found something better, leave it in the comments because this beacon is rough. Though this spot does come with a distinct advantage. The champions spawn on the other side of this rock to the left and try to get line of sight on you, but they don't go far enough back, though the red bars can and will go back there and shoot at you. This is where Hardlight's over-penetrating rounds find some value. These Scions will line up in front of you, and the arc shields are often standing directly behind them a ways back. The champions will mostly let you get away with clearing everything else out before you deal with them. They can't go behind or on top of this rock, and will try to rotate around the long way to the side that you're closest to. This wave after the first Unstoppable is where your bow is going to do some work. It's entirely snipers, most of which seem to think they brought a shotgun. And once you kill enough of them, more snipers plus other things. Which way did I go? Later, dude. Be ready for another round of snipers after this overload goes down. In case you're not familiar with the run, the boss is back the way you came, to the right through this portal. There's a safe spot in here across the room from the beacon. But we save it as a get out of jail free card when things go south rather than setting up shop back there, as there's only so many things you can get line of sight on. Killing the glowing taken is what makes the boss vulnerable. But it also makes more mobs spawn, which later comes with champions. Headshots on this boss do a lot of damage. Every third of her health, she'll teleport and bring out more glowing mobs. Conveniently, this spot does have line of sight on the boss, along with most of the things that come with this wave. Good luck in there and subscribe for more Destiny 2 content.